Friendly reminder, it is now time to get your rose bushes all pruned up. So if you need a couple tips or reminders on how to get this guy done, I'm going to show y'all how I prune my rose bushes up. First thing you want to take into consideration is the shape that you're going to want the bush to be, and keep that in mind. Like for example, these guys that are growing out here at the front, they grow in the way of when I'm trying to weed eat and mow my lawn, and they just kind of go too far forward out from my planter box that I got going here. So I'm going to be taking those guys out, and you want to take them down to a manageable height. This peace rose that I got here goes crazy every single year. Two things to keep in mind when pruning up your bush is to, one, always cut at a 45-degree angle. And the second thing is you want to cut that 45-degree angle to the center of the plant. So if you're out here on the outside, you want to cut in this way. If you're working in from over on this side, cutting in this way. Another thing to keep in mind is when pruning your rose is to always cut above a bud eye or a node. Some people call them different things, but it's where the branches are going to potentially grow out. So if you're going to be cutting up here, you cut right above this guy. I'm going to take this whole one up, but just to give you an example, you want to cut in at a 45-degree angle above that node. I'm going to take this guy down here, and so the closest node eye that I got to this big woody stalk here, I want this one to grow out because that grows out at a nice angle that way. So you guys see this little, you see this one's got a little node eye right there, and come through right above that guy at a 45-degree angle to the center of the plant. Take that one out. When deadheading, you want to take it as close to the collar as you can get. So these guys, they get in my way when I'm mowing, and so this is going to be my starting point for back here. So I'm going to deadhead these two guys here because I don't want them to keep growing back. So I'm going to come here as close as I can to the collar of the plant, and nice and tight right at the collar of the plant. And when you're deadheading, you don't need to worry about maintaining a 45-degree angle. These guys that are growing outwards, I'm going to take these guys, give you a little better an angle. So here's the collar of the plant right there, the collar of that branch. And so these ones right here, just straight on along with the collar if you don't want them to grow back. This one, I like how this one grows up, but that's too tall for me to manage and harvest. So I'm going to take this one down to about the same height as this main trunk here. So since I want this branch to grow back, I'm going to come in here at a 45-degree angle towards the center of the plant, and boom. This guy is going to get in my way while I'm mowing here. So this one, again, right in tight at the collar. That one goes straight. Get rid of that one. But I like these ones, how those ones grow up nice and straight. So, see the little node, a little 45-degree angle towards the center of the plant, right above that node there. Same thing with this guy. And this dead bit here, that could be dead-headed because that's just all dead. Boom. So anything that's dead, that isn't going to be coming back or growing, that just goes bye-bye. It's called deadheading. Just getting rid of that. This one here, that's going to be a problem here shortly. So that one, straight to the collar. Get rid of it. Now, coming back up here to these guys that I actually like. I want them to continue growing and doing their thing. So, I'm going to take them down. And again, same thing. 45-degree angle right above this node or bud bloom. Cool. Same thing with this one. It's growing up. I like how that one grows. So, I'm going to take this one right above this bud eye here or this node. 45-degree angle towards the center of the plant. Boom. Just remember to take your time. Don't get lost in the bush while you're pruning it up, and make sure to take a step back to make sure you're not cutting off anything that you do not want to cut off, because you're shaping it for how you want it to look come this summer, spring, when it's going to be all pretty. So take the time to do it right the first time. Now it's all good and pretty, and you will like looking at it come summertime and spring. I'm going to finish this up, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. And that's what I look like, all pruned up. It took, kind of a level, and just went with that, and made sure to stay above my nodes with every single cut. Sometimes chose a little branch that was branching off with my cuts. There we go. All pruned up and ready for summer.